Welcome to the Insightful Astrology Podcast, where life is written in the stars, but you get to edit the script. Making astrology come alive, here's your host, Maria DeSimone.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Insightful Astrology Podcast. It is me, your host, Maria DeSimone. I am always excited about talking to you guys, but today we're going to take a little departure from astrology. Well, maybe not a total departure. I might throw some astro crap in, but the main event of today's show is just one of the most bubbly, incredible personalities I have ever met in the metaphysical world. I shit you not. Her name is Rhonda Hale, and she is this, kind of famous bridal couture designer, and she turned into a psychic medium along the way. And now she is an incredible past life regressionist. She has so many talents and is just so inspirational to listen to and to talk with that I said, I have to have you on the show. She has her own podcast, by the way, and I'm going to let Rhonda tell you all about herself and what she's up to these days. But today's show will be on past lives, past life regression therapy, what that's all about, how it can help you, and anything else that Rhonda wants to talk about, because she's the boss on today's show. So without further ado, I am bringing on my guest, Rhonda Hale, to the show. Hello, my dear. Welcome.
Well, thank you so much for having me. Wow, with that kind of introduction. Woo!
You are so awesome. Thank you for agreeing to do this podcast, because I know that the energy you're going to bring to the audience here is just going to be, forget it. It's going to be like a crossover show, like when Station 19 in Grey's Anatomy does a crossover event. Everybody listening to today's show is going to become addicted to your podcast. I just know it. So,
you're full of love and beauty, and I have so much appreciation for you. You know that I am a Maria fan for over a decade. I can't get enough of you, and thank you so much for having me on. I have to say that the way you introduced me as far as the journey is pretty accurate. I have been a couture bridal tailor, one of the top in the nation. And, over the years got to this point, over 30 years. Along the way, I really kept my psychic medium gifts very private and to myself, because I just didn't want to weird people out, Right. And it got so intense over the past 2-3 years. I knew that my guides were trying to navigate me into a place where I was just completely open and organic with my gift and not hiding it any longer. So along with your guidance, reading my chart and telling me, hey, by the way, if you're not open with this, blessings are going to be held back. So, I took your advice and I just went boldly and came out of the energy closet, because through the years I'd, work with brides, and it's such a poignant, very special time in a woman's life, Yes. And while I'm there with her, being that I am a hand couture tailor, I'm hands-on. I tailor on the dress while they're wearing it. So it's very intimate, very close. It's almost a dead skill. But with that, the bride's guard just drops. And I, being a psychic medium, meaning I get visions and flashes of, I can channel and know just about anything I need to know if I need to about somebody. But being that I'm the medium part, I get to talk with people who have passed on and crossed through, to other dimensions. And nevertheless, like probably I would say 90%, if not higher, of the time I have a bride, and sure enough, whoosh, a loved one shows up, whether it's a baby crawling across the floor saying, hi, I'm in her tummy right now, and she doesn't know it. Or if it's, a grandmother or a father, like just last week, I had three beautiful brides and 3 beautiful spirit individuals come through. And it's very touching and beautiful. So aside from that, yes, I do all of that good stuff, help people connect with their loved ones. But really found, I believe, what is my true calling, which is to help people heal through past life regression. I became certified as a hypnotherapist, and I decided I'm all in. I do everything I do is all in. You know that.
Yes.
And the Aries in me.
Love it.
You know more about myself than I know.
Well, that's not true.
It is true. You tell me things, I try to keep it hidden, and I'm like, wait a minute, this is a psychic here. But
so funny.
But yeah, it's like I became certified in all across the board: medical, suggestive therapy, age regression. Great for trauma, PTSD, and that. But then when I tapped into past life regression, something really magical happened.
Okay.
Because I am a psychic medium, and every psychic medium has different gifts, but in my experience as a psychic medium, most of the time I'm able to actually see what my client is seeing while I have them in trance. So when I take them through trance and into this state, and I regress them, what we'll do is my client will have, whatever their focus, whatever the subject of focus is. Generally, it's going to be something they have that they want to overcome, some kind of trauma, some type of phobia, some type of repeated pattern that they don't like, lack of money, relationship issues, health issues that really can't be explained. For example, I had a gal who she'd had migraine headaches from the age of 6. The doctor's like, well, you've got migraine headaches. We can't see anything that's causing them, but it was a thing where she just had it her whole life. Right. And I knew, with no explanation, things like that, there's got to be, she's a great candidate to look into this, regress her back. And sure enough, she's had 4, we've already done 4 past life regressions on her where there has been some kind of correlation to what she's dealing with now. After she's had these 3 regressions, she has no more migraine headaches. They're gone, completely released.
Huh.
Yeah. But during the regression, whether she's regressed to Victorian England as a housewife, whether she's regressed as a man with a family, all of these things I can actually see. And so when I have them in trance, I am there just as a note taker, really. But when someone is deep in trance, they can't always, they're usually overwhelmed with being in trance and super, super relaxed anyway. But also, when they're experiencing and seeing all this, they're feeling emotion and seeing things that they don't normally see. Maybe cobblestone streets, maybe they're living in a cave. You don't know where they're going to regress to. Okay. But we take them back to the point of where this issue, where this point of concern, where this area of interest was first formed in their past lives. So that's where we go in, and actually season 2 of my podcast, which is Help Me Rhonda with Rhonda Hale. I just launched episode 1 of season 2, and it is, wow, it was mind-blowing. I regressed a gentleman named Coyote Knight. Okay. And he had never, ever been regressed before. He suffered from back issues his whole life and just had back surgery. And he's like, I really want the surgery to take. I want the bone graft to take. I want to heal properly. I'd like to walk without a cane, and I need this pain to be gone. I need to get on with my life. So I said, well, do you want to be a guest? We'll do this. So he did. And we recorded his regression live, and it will grip anybody who watches it. You can watch it on YouTube and see the video, because I actually do a Zoom.
What's your YouTube channel?
The channel is Help Me Rhonda with Rhonda Hale. And it's spelled just like the Beach Boys song. So Help Me Rhonda with Rhonda Hale. And you can even put Help Me Rhonda podcast with Rhonda Hale. Either one should pull it up. Okay. And you can see him in trance, and he regresses to a 6-7-year-old little boy in 1800s England on a cobblestone street and goes through a very traumatic event where he then became crippled, that injured his back. Came through that. You can hear in his voice, he is completely lost in this experience. And even the way he talks is like very much like if he were a child. So things like that cover me in goosebumps. And being that I get to have kind of a bird's eye view of this journey as well, I can help them to say, okay, now what's next to you? You see anything over here? What's over there? Not giving them things to look for, but encouraging them maybe to look to the left because I can see something over there.
Oh, and you want them to focus on that because
yes, and go over there and look. Yeah, see what's happening. And they'll say, oh, well, there's that over there because I already knew it because I can see it. I can see what they're seeing. And
wow.
So I'll help them along the way that way. And I think, there's so much healing available. In my opinion, Maria, I believe with all of my heart that past life regression is the most effective supplement that you can introduce into your healing plan to actually see something that's effective, to see real change. So, you have your therapist, you're taking your medication, you're seeing your doctor, and you're a good candidate when you're like, I'm not seeing any results. I'm not seeing progress in this. And, you kind of get to your end of your rope. How can we improve this? I believe that if you could give past life regression a shot, you might have your mind blown. I, as of yet, still, let me find some wood here, knock on wood, have yet to see any client not see recovery.
Now, are you talking about physical recovery only, or is there emotional trauma that you can heal?
I have a gentleman who was now he's this big buff, he looks like a bodybuilder kind of, from Mississippi, strong truck driver. He was in Iraqi war in 2008. Since then, he has suffered from horrible PTSD. He has gone with so many vet programs to help with the PTSD, taking drugs to help him to deal with the side effects of PTSD, the anxiety attacks, the fear, the paranoia, the nightmares, just so much that he can't have a back facing a door anywhere he goes. People trigger him. He has trouble with relationships, all of this. And he's like, he's just precious. He's one of my favorite clients. And he just has his beautiful accent. He's like, Miss Rhonda, I need some help. I can't do this, and just talk about becoming emotional, and having your heart melt for someone suffering like that. So I said, you know what, let's give this a try. So I'll tell you what, I took him into regression. I do take my clients pretty deep. I take him maybe deeper than the average hypnotherapist. And I do feel very comfortable with that because being that I am a psychic medium, to be honest, I can see your guides standing there.
The whole time.
And they talk to me. That's how I know what's happening, is the guides are saying, hey, this is happening over here. This is happening over here. They'll show me pictures, images, flashes of it. Or they'll say, he says he's got a problem with this, but really it's this. And so then I'll take him through the regression and focus on the areas that the guides are telling me is going on. And then, so I took him, I regressed him. I did age regression first, but then I took him straight in the same trance into a past life regression. Found where the first introduction of this protection and vulnerability that he was feeling with the PTSD first arose. And then what I do, I don't just show it to you. I don't just shine a flashlight on it, which is another reason why I think that I've seen so much success with my clients, is I am a light worker. So I pull in the light, pull in divine light, and work with the client and guide them through to actually heal with the light, create a new scenario. We split off and create an alternate reality in that past life so that the client then can have that trigger. Then that button is disabled. It no longer, you can push that button as much as you want. It's not going to work because we
wow.
cancel the experience.
Is that your
Yes.
technique, Rhonda, or is that what past life regressionists all do?
No, I don't know of anybody that does that.
That is brilliant. So
well, the only reason I'm cheating, Maria, I cheat. I talk to dead people, okay? They give me the answers. What am I going to say? I'm not going to lie and say it was my idea. It was the guides that come in and say, guides have explained to me. I channel teachers and guides and entities, beautiful beings and other life forms. I channel them all the time. And they're the ones that say, heal this experience, splinter, and create an alternate, not a parallel. A parallel would be in this life when you have other lives going on, and we have the multiple lives like Einstein and Jung talked about. All of those things happen. That would be parallel. Alternate would be in a past life, we'll heal the one with the trauma. And we'll delete it, split it off, and then we rewind as if remember the old school VCR tapes? Rewind it 5 minutes before it occurred, and then create a new scenario. So in my podcast the season premiere where I regress, the past life regression of Coyote Night, what you're going to see is me actually in action doing that. So you can watch me doing it. And I take him, we create a new scenario, and you can even feel in his energy field. It's very emotional. You're covered in goosebumps watching it.
This sounds like your technique. It's just, I'm listening to you thinking to myself, wow, this sounds like Back to the Future.
It really is.
Regression style. Mm-hmm. You're literally changing their past experience
100%
on a cellular level.
Oh my goodness. Are you reading the notes on right beside me that I sketched down because I wanted to touch on to? Are you in my room right now at my desk looking at my desk?
I'm on my bed, I swear, not in your room, but hey, this is really deep, I have to say, because I have never talked to a past life regressionist who has done what you're doing. I like totally got the Back to the Future time travel thing in my brain when you're explaining your process. And I feel it. I feel that you're changing a person on a cellular level, which is then healing them physically in this 100%. Lifetime. And amazing. Okay, I'm going to shut up. Go ahead.
I love your input because your response is what other people might be thinking. So this is very, very important to have this two-way. Interrupt me. If I'm talking about something, you're like, hey, wait a minute. Do you mean this? I want you to interrupt me. You know me. I love that.
Well, I would love for you to explain your process to the audience a little more. And I want to know, can everyone be regressed by you?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, I have met people that because I'm such a weirdo with being, I am a very, I'm very clearly, I'm able to tap into people's energy fields very, 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 very clearly, very easily as a medium. So what I'll do is I will interview a person and I'm channeling you the entire time. And I'm finding out if your frequency needs to be raised. If for some reason your frequency isn't really where it needs to be, I will give you a higher vibration meditation. Actually, I have it for free. It's on my Instagram. If you go down to the IGTVs, at this point, it's probably, well, you're just gonna have to keep scrolling because it's.
And you're Help Me Rhonda Official on Instagram.
Yeah,
right?
On Instagram, it's just Help Me Rhonda Official, and just if you search it, type it in with a space between each word, and it'll still pull me up. But if you go to the IGTVs and you scroll down, depending on when you're listening to this podcast, currently, as we're recording this, I believe it's down about 30 videos. And you're going to see one that says higher vibration meditation.
Mhm.
And I will send my clients to that meditation, and I'll connect with their guide, and I'll ask them, how long do they need to do this? And the guide will tell me they need to do this for 2 weeks. They need to do it for a week. They need to do it for a month. They'll tell me. And so then they'll listen, because that particular guided meditation I do has lots and lots of light work in it. I'm doing a lot of shadow work with my guides. And in that, I've programmed it to connect with your guides. When you use that meditation, it is so effective. It will be mind-blowing. I have clients who listen to it and they're like, well, I don't really feel anything. I'm having a hard time with my mind watering. And then after it clicks, after 7 days, they're like, whoa, like something happened, Rhonda. Something happened. I am seeing things. I'm so aware. I'm like, yeah, okay, click. Things changed. Now we're ready to go in and do this regression.
Okay.
So yeah. But as far as my method, I don't know every past life regressionist, who's in practice. There's millions, all over the world. But for me, I've never heard of anybody who does what I do. But what I'll do, I think the important part is when I take you in, I need to take you in love.
Mm-hmm.
I need to make sure that my energy is clean.
Mm.
This is not a job. This is a calling.
Yes.
And I have to go in clean. I have to do my work. And I have to, in order for me to really connect with your guides. So I'll call in my team. I've got my dad and my Nana who are always with me, but I have teachers that I channel who there's a group of them. I channel them. They're called Adam. They said, call it Adam. And I channel them, and boy, do they take me, woo, they show me, they take me everywhere. So with that, that's how I even thought, even anything came in my awareness to do this method with past life regression. It was 100% my teachers guiding me and helping me to know exactly what method would be the most effective to heal. And they just layer it out so beautifully for me. So I have, it's a group of beautiful teachers who will come, and they guide me. And what they've said is, if you are able, they said every single life you've ever had,
mm-hmm.
presently as we're living here, any past life you've had, any alternate life or any parallel life, each one of those existences are all alive, breathing, feeling, experiencing, and resonating energy frequencies all at the same time. They're all happening right now. And different events occur on a loop.
Okay.
And so they said, if you can find the loop where the trauma was, where the that experience first occurred,
mm-hmm.
and heal it and create a brand new scenario, it will be disabled. And what I do if you hear weird noises, it's not me, I promise. It is my little teacup Yorkie, Jack.
That's who I just heard. Yep.
Yeah, he's just a stink, and he wants to get involved in everything. So I apologize. But
that's cute.
But what I do, and you'll see this if you watch the video or if you listen to it on any podcast platform, you're going to hear me create it truly is a time warp tunnel. And I create as if it were a wormhole of light. And I have the client invite that self that experienced the trauma to come with them in the room where they are. Oftentimes it's in the child age. Sometimes it's a teenager age. It could even be an adult age. It doesn't matter. Pull them through the tunnel, introduce yourself, tell them who you are, because they're real, just like you and I. Bring them in, have them crawl up on the recliner with you, have them crawl up on the bed next to you, whatever. pull them in close and tell them they are safe. Tell them who you are. Tell them you are real and they're not losing their mind. This is really happening. And ask them permission to heal what just happened. And so really it's your client and their alternate self and me and the guides who do all the healing and all the work together. Once we heal it, send them back through there. Then we splinter, rewind that event, just as if it were a tape recorder, rewind it 5 minutes before it occurred. Okay. Set the stage and create a different alternate route. And then take them through that life to 2 or 3 peak events in their life. You know, take me to the next important event in that life. Take me to the next. Let's skip ahead this. Let's skip ahead here. Let's skip ahead here. And just kind of bumping through and just making sure there's no more trauma stuck in there, because your higher self does know if there's other trauma stuck somewhere else. You know, we'll go in there and it'll find it. If it's there, we do the same thing. We heal it. We bring them back, shoot them forward, create the new reality, keep going forward, 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 and then bring them back to present reality. And as you bring them back, we bring back all of the healing, all of the knowledge, all of the learning, and we ask it to be embedded on a cellular level. Just download that learning, that experience, that healing on a cellular level into this life. And so the client comes back and they're like, okay, did we just time travel? Because I am not the same.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
Have you ever, with your clients, that once you've done this and once they've healed,
yes,
have you ever had a client where you go back and regress them again? And then what happens? Can they no longer remember the old scenario, or is there a brand new scenario? And then what happens moving forward? Because you're actually changing so much. I'm wondering what happens after the healing.
Okay, so here's what happens inevitably. When you heal something, like my client, he would never get mad at me for using his name because he tells everybody on the planet about me. So Steve-O in Mississippi, this big buff guy.
Yes.
His experience was obviously with him, it was just one regression. And he said the very next day, and from him that he'd never had another nightmare. His triggers were gone. He was completely recovered from the PTSD that he'd been experiencing since 2008. He said, Rhonda, I have seen doctors, I have seen therapists, I have spent so much money, I have so much time and so much suffering, and now it's gone in one session. Of course, my sessions aren't very light. That podcast is it's a 2-hour recording. It's very, very long. And believe me, I edited it quite a bit. So it can last 2 to 3 hours for me to do regression because I do not play. I get in there and I'm like, here, I'm going to roll my sleeves up. We're in here to fix this thing.
You're in a spiritual operating room and you're not till it's done.
Yeah, exactly. We got to get it done. So after we healed that, he's like, well, your brain starts clicking. You're like, wait a minute, hold on, stop the bus. If I'm able to heal trauma, can I also introduce a magnetism to manifest and bring in some of the things that I crave and want? So if you are in a situation, you realize, holy crap, I actually am able to heal this. Then look at your life and say, hey, do I want to make more money? Have I been single my whole life and want a really good relationship? Hey, do I want this opportunity to come my way? Do I want to start magnetizing this type of life? Do I want this to start happening? So then what we can do is go in, and that's what we've been doing with him. He wanted to.
Oh my God.
Yes, so he wants to, and that's what ends up happening with many, 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 many of my clients, because the healing is so real and so life-changing. To have something like migraines from the age of 6 to be plaguing you and just changing your life in such a terrible way. Once that's gone, you're about, wow, if I'm able to change that, can I bring in things? Can I attract this? Can I make this part of my new DNA, my new cell memory? Can I create? Because here's the thing, with past lives, Maria, we as as light travelers, are on a mission to elevate constantly. In order to elevate, we have to experience every aspect of the human experience and learn from it. So we have been wealthy. We have been poor. We have been middle class. We have been a man. We have been a woman. We have been a child who didn't live out a full life. We have been a horrible human being. We have been wonderful human beings. We have been caring and benevolent. We have been destructive and malicious. We have all these things. So why, if we can tap into the ones that hurt us and damage us, why then can we not tap in to the lives that were very, very high vibration and fulfilling and amazing? Why can't we tap into that and download that frequency as well?
That makes sense.
Yes.
And then live in that and free ourselves.
Yes, it becomes effortless.
I'm getting this picture of, the soul, and I know the soul is not anything physical or tangible that we could hold on to, but I'm listening to you talk, and every example that you're giving of a life experience, I get a pebble. There's a pebble. There's all these pebbles that make up your soul.
Yes.
And then it's like, you have one lifetime that it just becomes a never-ending kidney stone attack, and you're basically taking the pebbles, the dirty pebbles, and you're getting rid of them, and you're taking the good pebbles and turning them into just gold.
You're picking out the gold nuggets. You go panning for gold.
Yes,
and collecting those because so I have people who I work with high profile people,
Yes, I know.
And I work with regular people. Everybody work with people that are just goofy like me, regular people. And everybody needs and wants a higher vibration life, So for example, if I'm working with someone who's a high profile person and maybe their show's ending, and they're saying that the show's it's not being canceled, but the show's been going for 5 years, and actors, that's a lot of pressure, I'll tell you. So they're thinking, well, I want to make sure that I attract an opportunity that fulfills this, and so we'll meet. We'll have a meeting, and I'll say, okay, what is it that you want to attract in? Do you want to attract more travel? Do you want to attract a certain pay grade with it? Do you want to attract what? Do you want to do drama? Do you want to do big screen? What do you want to do? What do you want to do? Do you want to hit Broadway? What do you want to do? And so we'll map all of that out, and they'll say, you know what? And I also have been experienced. I've never told you this, but I've always had conflict with my director, where it just seems like my co-stars, we just don't have that vibe. I really would enjoy that because I love my craft, and I'd like to have more amicable, loving energy on set. Great, let's do that. Pull it in, and boom.
Wow.
They get a call, and there's filming in New Zealand. Boom, they're on a plane. Wow, Rhonda, this is amazing. Okay, call me when you need me.
It's just happening instantly.
It does, because the soul, we are light beings. We're divine light beings, splintered star seeds is what we are. We, in that form, we are not under any of the rules of time or gravity. We're not vulnerable or exposed or in any way affected by it. So if we go in and we do some time traveling, we do some quantum healing, and that's what I call my method of past life regression. I call it quantum healing. And I don't know that that's actually a thing, but I call it that myself, because we're working in quantum physics. We are manipulating, and we're astro traveling, taking you directly, only we're taking you in your higher consciousness, your higher self, your self that knows more than we know, right? The self that has the memory that we lose once we go through the birth canal, and we've lost it. We come here, we're like, wait a minute, I told myself I was going to remember all this crap, and I don't remember any of it, damn it, right? But that soul does know all of it, retain it. So we can go back and we can go to the halls of learning and pull scrolls down and say, okay, let's take a peek. Let's see what it was. Let's look. And so we do. And with the quantum healing, you're able to truly download on a cellular level this new cell memory that already isn't really new, but it's new to this human carbon print body that we're in, right? So we're able to bring it into this and really do a graft, like a skin graft, do a plant graft, and create our new hybrid experience and bring it in. Because what my teachers and guides have told me, because I said, well, am I hurting them by them skipping past? I mean, we have these things and these lessons to learn. So as it repeats and it keeps going, am I robbing them of their ability to elevate from this lesson? And they said, no, the fact that they understand and realize that there was a lesson, they passed the test.
Just the awareness,
Yes.
It raises your consciousness.
And you've said, oh, okay, all right, you passed. Here you go. You got a stamp on your paper. You passed. You got your badge. You can head over to the next class now. Here's your next learning. And because and also here's the other thing. I've noticed that people who suffer from phobias or PTSD or physical difficulties or relationship challenges, that just these patterns just keep repeating, this kind of thing, I find that they are older souls who have lived more lives. And so it's just that cell memory, that it's that seepage of cell memory that kind of just keeps flowing through. I had a gal who had this cough. She always felt this need to just cough. She went to the doctor and said, well, do you have sinus issues? Are you draining? Is it the back of your throat? How are your lymph nodes? All this stuff we're checking. Is it allergies? She went through the board. I'm telling you, the guy's like, yeah, it's in your head. You've got some kind of phobia, lady.
Okay.
You're going to go have to see a psychiatrist. Go to the psychiatrist. Say, what's going on here? She does therapy with that, figuring it out. She's like, I can't find anything. Nothing. And it's not getting better. I said, okay, let's give it a shot. So I regressed her to about 19, if I remember correctly, 1932. She was she worked with she was a performer, like in a traveling group, like I think vaudeville maybe or something like that. But they'd take trains, because I saw this image of her on a train, and she had her own dressing room. She was very pretty. She had finger waves in her hair. She was glitzy, glammy, cute, sexy, fun. And her life was such that she was very flirtatious. She tended to really use and abuse men to get what she wanted, and she'd leave them high and dry. She was just a man eater,
Ooh.
And she got involved with the wrong fella. Okay. And got involved with this very wealthy man in a financial, I don't know if he was a banker or something, but he was in the very powerful, very wealthy. And she was messing around on the side for him. He found out and had her throat slit.
Ooh.
So in her dressing room, in this train, I watched her get her throat slit. Of course, she's telling me it as well, but because I can vividly see what's happening, I'm watching this. It was so graphic, so incredible. And then pull her back, take her to the death process. It's very important to take you through the death process. Heal that, change that life, create a splinter of a new alternate life, bring her back. The lady does not have any more cough. Everything's gone.
Oh my gosh. So many of our issues are, it's not so much psychological as soul-logical.
Yes. Oh my God, what a beautiful word. I'm writing that down.
Soul-logical. Yeah, I never said that before. You bring out some strange things in me, I got to say, but good strange things.
Well, you are intuitive. You have a gift.
My
daughter has a gift as well, which you already know that.
Yes.
She's she has my psychic medium gifts, but she's also a very powerful empath. But we got off the phone and she goes, does Maria know that she's psychic? And I said, well, I think she kind of knows, but I don't know if she really knows. She goes, yeah, she's really powerful. She's psychic.
Yes.
And I said, well, I know. I've known Maria was, but did you know that you're psychic?
Yes. I've known that for a long time. I've struggled with it in the beginning, and that's what attracted me to astrology is originally is because I needed proof and I needed. It's so grounded in math, science, and oh look, here are the dates, and this is why I'm saying what I'm saying.
Right.
That it made me safe to
validate you,
to use it as a tool, but it is just at this point, I'm telling you, I say God talks to me, something. There's a voice in my head that directs me to say everything I say, and it's not Maria from Queens. It's not.
There's an older gentleman with you. That's why.
Oh, the guide. That's the guide that you're getting.
Yeah.
But, I can see that. I mean, I don't see that. I just call it God. I call it God. The voice and.
Yeah. No, you have somebody with you. It's an older gentleman, and he's very, very, very close connected to you. And he, if for better of a way of describing it, I don't want to be disrespectful. He feeds you information. That's kind of what happens to me.
He's my source. He's my source. That guy.
Yes, he is.
I mean, I think, that's a beautiful thing when we are given a gift that is a calling in life that we can use to help people. Yes. And I feel very blessed, and I know you feel very blessed to do what you do. And past life regression is an amazing, amazing tool. I have had personal experiences with it, and I don't have time to get into it because we have like 3 minutes left. I mean, I know it's like crazy. But you could find past life information out in the birth chart, guys. I've done previous podcasts on this, so go and research my previous podcast with guest Marguerite Manning. She's a karmic astrologer, and we go through this in the birth chart. The 12th house is the karmic closet. The south node of the moon is another way to look at past lives. And so that's all I'm actually going to say about astrology today. Rhonda, before we wrap up, how do people get in touch with you to get a past life regression reading or a psychic medium reading or anything next to you?
There are several ways to reach me. You can reach me on Instagram at Help Me Rhonda Official. You can follow me on podcast and on YouTube as well at Help Me Rhonda Podcast by Rhonda Hale or with Rhonda Hale, whatever. And I also have a website where my services are listed on energylifestylenetwork.com, and it's a collective of holistic healers from all over the world. So my clients are all over the world. So it just has to be something where you can reach me. So you can reach me at all those places and email me directly at info@energylifestylenetwork.com or just DM me, message me.
Yeah, you're very available on social media. I
respond to everyone.
Yes, she does. She is very responsive, even though she's very busy with extremely famous people, and it doesn't matter.
And if I can say quickly, I always do lives 2 to 4 times a month. Tonight I'm going to have one. Generally, I try to make it a Thursday where I do channel Adam, my collective, and I take live readings, and I will take questions on metaphysical of all aspects, and Adam will answer. So,
that's awesome. That's amazing. Again, for all of you guys listening, another beautiful tool in your metaphysical toolbox to help you on your soul growth journey, living in this physical world. We can use all the help that we can get, whether you're suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder, an overactive bladder, or if you want to know how to bring more abundance and love into your life, or to heal family conflicts. A past life regression might be the key to this. I mean, I don't have time to get into mine, but I had some deep-seated insecurity issues about homelessness and home insecurity. And I found out that I had a past life where my home burned down. I mean, there's so many different things that once you're aware of it, it's like you can let go of that trauma.
Yes.
And have peace. And once you have that peace,
Yes.
you can fly so much
Oh,
higher vibrationally.
Yes.
And you help people do that every day, Rhonda. So thank you for your service and
Thank
for
you
using your
having
amazing
me.
gifts.
Thank you for having me. And if you ever want a past life regression, you know that you're welcome anytime. I would love to.
Thank you. I hope my bladder could last 3 hours with a past life regression. I'll have to put a diaper on for that one.
Maybe we need to address that. Maybe we need to do
Oh
that.
gosh. Well, that runs in my family too, but that's another story. But
That's all right though.
yeah, family karma, right? Family karma.
And we can heal it. It doesn't matter.
Yes, I believe
Yeah.
it. I believe it.
Yeah.
But okay, so I'm going to wrap up this show.
Yay.
This was awesome. And again, if you ever want to come back on the show, Rhonda, to talk about anything, you've got a spot. Thank you all so much for tuning into the Insightful Astrology Podcast and for supporting the show. And remember to keep using astrology and all of these amazing metaphysical tools to keep growing into your soul. Until next time, bye-bye.
You've been listening to Insightful Astrology with your host, Maria DeSimone. Visit Maria on her website at www.insightfulastrology.com to schedule your personal consultation and learn how to use the power of astrology to grow into your soul.